afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. As August moves along, we are now at August 7th, and we have another awesome female singer, and I think she's possibly done some acting too. She's done a lot of things. We're going to talk about that and look at one of her videos about halfway through the show. But of course, before we get to her, I got to read these incredible underwriters. We don't have a lot, but they're all great, so we read them off. So we have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have the Auto Shop with Master Mechanic Ed Rooney in Hanover. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have Pals Driving School in Middleborough, setting up classes for October and December. Check the website for that. We have Riley's Barbershop in Middleborough. We have Carver Jewelers Incorporated, Ronald Allen, Riley, Delano Goldsmiths right here in the building. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington, right up the road here on Route 58. And we have Omar Barbershop in Brockton. I want to thank you guys very much. Omar Barbershop. And so now we have Jhen Kobran. Is that how you say it?
It's Kobran.
Okay,
and I have to tell, but I have to tell you too. That's not even supposed to be my last name. Kobran comes from a town in Belarus. And it's actually spelled Kobryn. And when my father's grandfather came here, they didn't speak any English. And when they asked what their name was, they thought they were asking where they were from. So Kobran became the last name, and they misspelled it.
You know something? I'm glad I brought it up. I'm glad I mispronounced it. Otherwise, you might not have heard that story, because we always like getting cool little anecdotes. In addition to all the great interviews that all the interview profiling I do with the guests, it's always nice to hear an interesting anecdote, as well, which is what we just had.
Yeah,
that is fascinating.
I mean, I feel kind of bad right now because, along with Russia, Belarus is they're not allowed to be.
They're one of the Russian allies in the Ukraine war. I totally get that.
Yeah, so it kind of makes me even more proud to be an American. I just hate that my last name is now associated with that country right now.
Well, just so you know, I have half my ancestry comes from Russia, so I'm in the game as well. I mean, and I totally understand. It's an awful thing. But, but we want to make it. We want to have an upbeat show too. We want to talk about good things. We want to make it positive, and so,
absolutely.
Yeah, and we had a long discussion last week, right after I left my show that I did last week from right here at the TV station. And you told me a lot of stuff. You told me you were in an all girls band, and you still keep in touch with some of these people. Is that right? You still work with them every now and then, or not?
I do. It's a 50-50. There's a lot of great people in my past that are still in my present.
Good.
I am going to go back to Las Vegas for a vacation during Labor Day weekend for like a week, and I hope to hook up with and so I had 16 years there. And I think I touched on this when we had our phone call. Las Vegas is an acquired taste, and to live there is very different than being there on a vacation. That being said, I was in two really very different but equally fun and talented bands while I was there.
Okay.
The first band, I don't think I even mentioned this one during our phone call. I was in this band called Bronson, and I had just moved there.
Like Charles Bronson, the actor?
Yes. Yeah, the name was originally, this is funny. Originally, we were called Edelbrock. And I had actually, because we were like we were a stoner rock band. And
I'd be freezing up.
And
damn it. Keep doing something with the phone. The phone's freezing up. The phone's freezing up.
Oh, you're back.
Back, yeah, okay. Are you?
Okay. So it was Bronson. It was me and this awesome guitarist and songwriter, Brandon Yanvari, and our drummer, Peter Pollock. His day job, or night job is the case maybe, he is part of the Blue Man Group. So that was just a really fun experience. And so we just did an EP on this label called Big Lizard. And then after that, I joined this all-girl band, Jaggedy Ann. And that's the one that we're talking about.
Yep.
it's a great name, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's funny. Our guitarist, Leona. Well, she's got her own thing going on now. She's Leona X in Las Vegas, and she's also part of an ACDC all-girl ACDC cover band called Thigh Voltage, which you got to check out. They're amazing. And she's a fantastic guitarist. But anyway, so I joined up with Jaggedy Ann, and at the time, I was working for a sports betting company in Las Vegas, and I used all my vacation time to do out of town gigs with Jaggedy Ann, and then suddenly Jaggedy Ann was making more money, and so that became my job, and it was fun. It got me to go to New Zealand, and you would never be able to do that otherwise. Otherwise, if you were in my situation, you know. So. But very fun experience. And I did take it for granted, I will say that, because after a couple of years, it did become a job.
Yeah.
And so for a couple of years after that, I was kind of jaded. And I started saying, you know, if I ever have to play Sweet Home Alabama again, I'm going to open my wrist.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? Life comes full circle. And so now when I'm in the car and Sweet Home Alabama comes on, I turn it up. You know? And so I miss being able to play that every night. There were a lot of great songs. And we had a lot of really good originals that Leona wrote. So that was a fun experience. If you want to go on to something else.
Whatever you want. Yeah, all right. Well, it's hard to believe Sweet Home Alabama it's a 50-year-old song. By Leonard Skinner.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and we played a lot of other really good songs. We did Celebrity Skin, which is weird because nobody listens to Hole anymore, and I'm not so much a fan of Courtney Love recently, but it was fun to play that song, you know. But we did a lot of fun stuff. I mean. Oh God, Judas Priest, Living After Midnight. It's a fun song, you know.
He's still around, I think. I think Judas Priest. I think one of my Facebook friends who does music, I think she was in Boston and she took a picture with him that she posted on Facebook. It was just yesterday.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, funny.
I know, it's crazy. He's been around a long time too. It is amazing how long some of these musicians last.
And the weird thing is, I mean, so Judas Priest only just got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they only got in. There was like a weird category. It was like as a for performance. It wasn't like in their own right. It was like, no, don't get me wrong. They're on stage. Their choreography is incredible, you know.
Right. It is.
But they just should have gotten in. What was that classification about? I don't get that.
Well, I think because they're still playing. I think like most halls of fame. They want the people that they induct to be retired first, or to be no longer active, because there's so many people that become worthy of entering the Hall of Fame, and they don't want to overlap the people that are in their stripes with the ones that are still earning them. So I think that might have something to do with it. I'm guessing, but that's my theory. But I don't know. That's what I would think.
There's a lot of weird political and red tape going on with the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. Like who's ever going to get in and who's never going to get in. Right. I mean, I don't understand why Bryan Adams isn't in yet.
He's probably still because he's still a performer.
Right. No, but the only criteria is you become eligible 25 years after your first release.
Oh, really?
He's been eligible for years.
It's different. I see. It's different with the Sports Halls of Fame. There, you got to be retired.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been eligible for a long time.
Right.
And the really sad thing about that is he was scheduled to appear when Tina Turner was inducted, but then it was canceled because of COVID. So he didn't even get to perform. Yeah. And it's not like I'm not like a huge Bryan Adams fan. I just feel like, why isn't he in?
Bryan Adams is my age. I know that because when he did those songs in the 80s, we didn't have Google in the 80s, but I was able to, check his information, and I saw that he was born in 1959, as was I, at the end of November.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So like me,
I thought you were closer to my age. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I think you're younger than me though, because you told me your age last week. We talked about your date of birth. I think we covered that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. 16th, 1971. Is that it?
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, you told me.
Thanks for outing me. No, it's all
Well,
good.
yeah, it's a good date. I mean, it was Saturday, and you're 12 years younger than me. All right. Well, on that note,
I wouldn't trade being a 70s kid for anything in the world. I mean, yeah.
All right. In that note, we're going to listen to one of her songs from Switzerland, and we're going to come right back and talk about it. Okay. So let's stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Talking about people, right? Oh yeah. What you see, baby, it's me. I'm not lying, super satin, and I'm not double D. Show me yours, look at mine. I won't go that time. Close your eyes, feel these eyes, gonna blow your mind, okay? Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Whoa, why don't you think about it? You think about it? Why don't you think about it? Okay. Everyone is done with the jacking, baby. Cause your eye, you're so fly, wanna get you high. Walk you straight to the back where I play my attack. Take a hit of my shit, now you stay down back, okay? Go low, get back to the ground, okay? Put it up, okay, on the card, you can see out. Let's go hard in the middle of the crowd. Whoa, why don't you think about it? Whoa, why don't you think about it? 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 Okay. Alright, people, and like I said, this song's about getting laid. Who here wants to get laid tonight? I know these people in the front do. What about you people in the back? I said, who here wants to get laid tonight? Alright. I know Patty here. He's looking to get some. I know Jen. She's looking for herself a little Swiss boy. Charles, all you lovely ladies out there, come see Charles at the merch booth so he can sign your boobs or something. Me? I guess I can get me a little something, something. You never know. When I touch you like that, got the feeling you like when I touch you like that. I got news for you, baby, gonna touch you like that. Ooh, whoa, whoa, baby, gonna touch you like that. Okay? 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 Let's go hard in the middle of the road. Whoa, why don't you think about it? 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 Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay.
Oh, Jen,
Right on.
Tell us what we just watched.
Yeah, that is in Switzerland, in Lumnizia.
Okay.
It's the Italian Alps border of Switzerland.
Okay.
It's called the Open Air Festival.
All right.
And Okay, Okay is a song. Well, if you see Abby, our lead singer, when she introduces the song,
Okay,
this is a song about getting laid. Here, who likes to get laid? So,
I do.
and I think the performance kind of speaks for itself.
Okay, I guess it does.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was followed by, I don't think I have any footage from the next festival because we were in Switzerland for about, we were there for a week for two separate festivals. This one was, like I said,
Is this the dog band you were in? The Scabbity Ann? Is that, what did you say it was?
No, this one is Slunt.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, I've been around.
I know you have. I can see that.
It's so funny. I mean, I know the band is called Slunt, and I guess I could call myself a band slunt.
Okay, I hear you. All right. All right. So, how many bands have you been in? About?
I would say 7.
Okay.
And it's fun. And there are stories connected to a lot of them, like various Boston Music Awards, different tours, different band stories. I could write a book.
You should.
I could probably write a book about every band.
Of course, you
Make it like
about every band.
Well, it's not a trilogy.
You've probably been in more
that?
bands than most of the people I've interviewed that are musicians. So that's awesome.
And it's a weird thing. The first band, well, one of the first bands that I was in was this band called Malachite in Boston.
Okay. Great names, by the way. All of them.
I've been blessed with really good names, right?
Yes.
And that was one of my first bands. And that band, the other girls in the band, they had already established the name. They were already successful.
Okay.
And I joined. I had just turned 21. They were all 25 to 30 when I first joined. They'd already been around. The band was already big. They had lost their front person. She was a bassist, lead singer. They replaced her with me on bass, and this girl that I had been jamming with, she became lead singer and sometime rhythm guitarist. And then less than 6 months after I joined and she joined, we won the Boston Music Award for Best Local Hard Rock Band. And it was weird. It was on April 5th, 1994. Now, and I always remember it because it was April 5th is my sister's birthday. So I was like, hey, Melissa, I'm going to the Boston Music Awards for your birthday. I rented a limo. We all went, got dressed up, and Aerosmith presented the award that night.
Right.
And it was us, all girls, up against 4 or 5 all guy bands who were well established, amazing bands.
Wow.
We won. And so we go up there, we get the award, and then we're taken backstage and we're interviewed by MTV. They were going to air it that weekend.
Wow.
Well, now, if you remember correctly, April 5th, 1994, that night while we were getting that award, that was the day that Kurt Cobain killed himself.
Oh, I thought that was April 8th, 1994.
Well, that's when they found his body.
Oh, okay. That was close.
Yeah. Okay. But he died on April 5th. They found him on April 8th. I think that was a Friday. And so that weekend that we were supposed to be on MTV, everything was preempted for Kurt Cobain.
Not to mention the 60 Minutes story that was done on him too.
Yeah. So, who knows what the butterfly effect. Who knows what would have happened if Kurt didn't kill himself that week?
Right. I know. Yeah, I know. Sometimes things really have a weird way of working out and not working out.
But it was weird. But going back to Malachite, that was like boot camp for me because, like I said, those girls were 25 to 30 when I was 21. Yeah. And so I learned so much from them. Now, when they asked me to join, after I had auditioned, I got the gig. The drummer was the only one that had reservations. And she said, okay, the band, we're going to rehearse 3 times a week. You and I are going to rehearse another day, just the 2 of us. Okay. And at first I was like, what the hell is she talking about? It kicked me into shape. And I will never, I'm sorry, her name is Gay Hathaway, and her current name is Gay Hebert. She's married now. Okay. But it instilled in me my right hand locking into the kick foot of the drummer. Okay. And it was, like I said, it was boot camp. And I think that was the greatest knowledge I ever learned from any band I've ever been in. And it stuck with me. So when people ask me who my influences are, not a lot of bassists, a lot of drummers. Where is my right hand gonna hook up with that kick foot?
Okay.
And so that was a very good experience.
Yeah, I know. It worked out. It's like you have a teacher that's tough and you're all freaked out, and then it turns out that it was the best thing that could have happened. And that's exactly what happened with you.
Exactly. Because at first I was like, I felt like I was being punished, like I was getting detention or something,
Right.
you know?
I
But
know.
at the end of the day, I benefited immensely.
Yeah,
And I
of
took
course.
it to every band I'd ever been in afterwards. And I think every drummer I've played with since then has noticed it and appreciated it. So they all need to send her flowers.
Yeah. Okay, so 30 years ago was when you had that awesome event in Boston. That's hard to believe. So now it's 30 years because it was 94.
94, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now are you still?
Time flies, don't it?
I know. Are you still?
I'm sorry?
Are you still performing currently anywhere?
I am trying to, but you know, and I think I told you this. Most of my gear is still in Las Vegas in a storage unit.
Okay, yeah, you've been
My,
moving around a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, circumstances happened that I came to Eastern Tennessee not intending to stay here permanently.
Okay.
And I only had like a week's notice, got on a plane, a suitcase, a duffel bag, and my cat. And
Oh.
everything is in storage in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I thought I was going back there. And I'm actually going back for that vacation.
That's right. You're going back to Labor Day. Well, why can't you get your stuff then?
Well, you want to loan me $3,000?
Well, why would you need to? Well, but your stuff's already in storage. What do you need to pay for now?
$3,000 is what it's going to cost to get my stuff from Vegas to here. No matter how I slice it. If it's vulgar, isn't it? If I do it myself, if I rent a van, it's going to cost $3,000. If I pay a moving company, it's going to cost $3,000.
I have to admit, I'm shocked that that would be that much because I don't know why.
I didn't think it would be either.
Wow.
I'm stunned.
I don't know why it would cost. I mean, why would it cost any more than just you get? You know, what do you drive? Do you have a? What do you drive? What do you drive? Do you have a large?
I'll show you right there.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you have to
my car is 25 years old. It's a 1999 Pontiac Grand Am. Yeah, that ain't moving anything.
Wow. Huh. No,
It's an antique.
Yeah. Why you don't want to just move back to Vegas? You couldn't do that?
I thought about it. Here's the thing, and I like I said to you, when I came out here initially, it was supposed to be temporary. It was supposed to just be a visit.
Right.
I came out here because this is where my grandmother was.
Okay.
And I was just visiting with her and my aunt and uncle. They relocated here from New York City.
Okay.
And my aunt was taking care of my grandmother. Then my grandmother passed away.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was helping her get through losing her mother.
Yeah.
Now, during that, my parents back in Las Vegas, they owned a house out there, and they had my baby sister Jamie.
Okay, yeah.
Well, so Christmas of 2019, my father passed away.
Yeah, yeah.
And 8 weeks later, my sister Jamie committed suicide while she was battling multiple sclerosis.
Yeah, yeah.
My mother sold the house out there, bought a house out here. So there's really nothing for me to move back there for, except for my stuff.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, but who are you with? Yeah, but are you living by yourself now, or are you taking care of any? Are you still
no, because I live with my I've got my aunt and uncle here.
Okay.
Because my aunt was taking care of my grandmother,
Okay.
and she's a phenomenal person.
You don't want to leave her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. That makes sense. You got your family there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, I still have this pull that once I go back to Las Vegas, maybe I won't come back.
Maybe you won't. I mean, listen. All right. Well, and I have listen. We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. I hope you had fun talking to me.
I'm sorry. What's that?
I said we're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. I hope you had fun talking to me.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, I'm saying, well, look, life takes all kinds of training. I mean, you're obviously a nomadic person. You've traveled. You've done a lot of traveling, and in all likelihood, where you are now is not going to be where you're ending up. You probably end up somewhere else at some point. That seems to be the way it works.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is, and I think I told you this during our phone call.
Yeah.
If I were to do something here, and especially where I'm at, I think it would really work out here. I know it sounds like a joke, but I would really love to put together an all-girls ZZ Top band.
That's right. That's right. ZZ Top. Then you could call them ZZ Bottoms. I couldn't resist that one.
Oh, and I walked into that, didn't I?
Wow. Well, so listen, if you can't, make little innuendos, comments about stuff like that, you enjoy them, then what's it like?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I live in spitting distance of where Dolly Parton was born, like right over here.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you live,
she's still very healthy at 76 something years old.
Oh, she's a saint. I always say there's a special place in hell for people that don't like Dolly, because aside from her music, the humanitarian work that she does,
yeah.
I mean, stupid little shit. Like, she's got her library book program, and there are little kids that don't know her for her music, but they just know her as the book lady because she provides books for little kids.
That's awesome. That's
and apparently, I mean, this is funny. So Dollywood is right down the street here,
right.
And it was named by TripAdvisor and the National Theme Park Association as the #1 theme park in the country. Last year, it got for the world. So coming from Las Vegas, going from one tourist town to another, it's a very different tourist town.
Of course. All right. Well, listen, if you had a good time with me, you know anyone that you might like to do the show, you got my digits, have them contact me, and we'll get them on.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
All right. So listen, I got one favor, and I got one favor to ask. When we wrap up the show, we stick around and let my tech guy take a pic to Facebook, and I'll tag you in it. You can tag me if you want to.
Sure, of course.
All right. All right, folks, wrap it up. Another great episode of Topic Time. See you next time. Have a good one. Rolling out.